Hello everybody and welcome to another fly tying session with your host Scott. In this session we're going to be tying a blue flash damsel and we're going to be tying this a little bit smaller than the standard size. We're going to be doing it on a B813 size 12. Traditionally the Damsel Nymph is tied on a lure hook about yay long, but we're going to go for a slightly smaller one this time. This one's to fish for rainbow trout in the winter. We're going to need a few other ingredients to do it as well. The fly is meant to imitate the larval stage of the Damsel Dragonfly, the Electric Blue Dragonfly that you see flying around in the summer. We're going to be using an olive uni thread in 8/0. We've got a bit of chain bead for the eyes. I believe this is 2mm. Olive Marabou for the tail. A medium olive SLF for the main body. We've got some light olive or nearly yellow hare's ear fur for the thorax. For the rib, we're going to be using a holographic gold tinsel. This one's a Madeira Spectra, colour code 525. And then, as it's called a blue flash damsel, we've got some blue tinsel for the flash. This is a holographic blue. It's a Madeira Spectra again, and it's colour code 533. And then for the thorax cover and legs, we're going to be using a bit of pheasant tail. So to get started with this one, we have to start at the eye and then go back about 2, maybe even 3mm and trim away. Then you're going to want to try and build a prominence. Just keep going over the same spot over and over again to create a bit of a lump. And that's to help keep your chain bead in the right place. So then you get your chain bead that you'll have cut earlier. Now I recommend using wire cutters to do it, but if you've got an old pair of scissors you can use those as well. And then you're going to want to lash that on with figure of 8s. Fairly tight. You can lash it on with a bit of super glue as well if you prefer. That might make the fly last a bit longer, but there is another way. If you don't want to use super glue, you come round under the eyes, the chain bead, and then over the shank of the hook, like so. And that can help lock the eyes into place. Now we've left a bit of room at the front there, which is why I went back about 3mm, because I want to finish the fly in front of the eyes. So you have to make sure you give yourself a bit of room to do that. Now you don't want to go no further than the point of the hook with this one, because we're using Marabou. Marabou's got a tendency to either wrap around the hook and make the fly look like an olive green banana, or it'll mask the point of the hook, so when you get a hit you don't hook the fish, you just plucking at the tail. So it's important that you try and mitigate that by keeping quite a lot of the hook showing. So we're going to tie in our tail. You want a decent bunch of Marabou to do a tail. Like so. And then you want to try and get rid of the fluff on the cut ends by doing this. That just cuts down some of the bulk, it makes it easier to tie in. So then we're going to do a pinch turn, and then tie it in tight. We trim the cut ends of the length of the body. And then tidy up. If you do it the full length of the body, it's for two purposes. It stops the marabou going round the shank of the hook, and also it gives you a nice even bed to tie your body. Don't worry about bits sticking out for now, we can sort that out in just a second. So then we're going to tie in our blue flash. You want a couple of strands, but you can use one strand and double it up. And you can either fold it in half and do it all at once, or you can tie one side, spin it round and tie the other side, which is what I'm going to do. Let's have a quick look, see how that looks. That's, your side's a little long, so we'll trim that down. And there we are, they're matched now. Excuse me, I'm just getting over a bit of a chest infection. There we are, tie the tinsel in. So that's your blue flash, hence its namesake. And we're going to get some gold Madeira. And this is going to be the rib for the fly. Now you don't necessarily have to use 2mm chain bead with this pattern, you can use a few other things as well. So you can use a gold bead, a hothead bead, you can even use gold chain bead, which is very good for this pattern. Or tungsten eyes, and anything you can think of really you can use to do this. So that's the rib tied in. So then we're going to get some dubbing, the medium olive SLF. It's a synthetic dubbing, this one. And I find synthetic dubbings are a lot harder to dub than furs. So if you've got some medium olive fur, which I will have soon, I would use that instead of this. I've recently acquired a squirrel pelt, which I'm going to dye olive. I won't go into too many details of how I acquired it. I don't think some people will be appreciative of it. Let's start again, that's a mess. It is difficult stuff to dub. Bit of patience and you will get there. It's not behaving that bit. I'll trim that bit off. Now if you've got any like dubbing wax or anything, you can use that, but there's a little trick that you can use if you're a beginner. Just get yourself a Pritt stick, put a bit of Pritt stick on the thread, and that'll help you with your dubbing when you're first starting out. Okay, let's tidy up the thorax area. Then we're going to rib the fly, get the tail out of the way. So that's your rib tied in. Now we're going to shorten the tail down to the desired length. Put the marabou between finger and thumb to act as your guide, and then pinch it off from that point. It's not looking too bad. So then we're going to get a decent bunch of pheasant tail. Pull the fibres out 90 degrees from the stem. And I prefer to cut, but you can tear them away. So you're going to need about between 8 and 12. Now you're going to want the legs quite long on this pattern. You're going to go from the back of the chain bead eye, that's how long your legs will be. And then just get them so that they sit between the eyes like that for now. This is going to be your thorax cover. Then get your paler dubbing. This is hare's ear dubbing. It's practically yellow. It's that light of an olive colour. And you're going to make your thorax with this. Another body material you can use, especially in the larger versions of this pattern on the Longshank hooks, is olive chenille. Not a massive fan of chenille. I prefer to use dubbing. So if you've got a little bit too much dubbing, you can just pinch it off like that. There we go. And then to do your legs, you bring your scissors in so that they split evenly. Bring your finger over the top. Pull them down and tie. And then just keep adjusting until they behave. And then go to the eye. And bring your thorax cover over. And then tie that in at the eye. And then finish off the head. Now you can whip finish if you choose. I prefer to half hitch. The other thing you can do with this pattern is you can add lead at the thorax just to get it to sink a bit quicker as well. But, I don't want them sinking too quickly. I'm using a sinking line with them. Trim away. Let's have a quick look. If there's any stragglers, get rid. It's not looking too bad, and then we're going to varnish to finish. Need a fairly decent drop of varnish in the neck area of the fly, and then just a little bit where you've done your head. And there we are then, guys. That is the blue flash damsel. Thank you very much for watching. Please like, share and subscribe. And hopefully I will see you on the next video. Bye bye for now.